So, I think today will be story time. This one is about Mookie. I think she's 5 now. My mom knows, she keeps track on the calendar. But this was, I guess, 5 years ago, if she is 5. I think she is. But it was when she was born. The day she was born. This was at my grandma. Well, actually, no, I'll go a little bit further back. Back in New York, when we lived in a place called Norwich, there was this pregnant black cat that was always around in our backyard and in our neighbor's yard. And she would always come around so that we could feed her. And she started getting bigger and bigger, so my mom thought it would be a good idea to keep her in the back room since she was ready to be pregnant. And it probably wouldn't be a good idea for her to give birth outside in the yard. So we kept her in the back room. We put a litter box out there. We were feeding her and stuff. And the reason why we kept her in the back room is, for one, my stepdad didn't want any more cats. And because we already had Tasha at the time. Tasha's the gray cat that's been in my videos. We had Tasha at the time. So we kept Sammy, which was her mom's name, in the back room. So what we did was we waited until she was ready to be pregnant. And my mom thought that it would be a good idea to bring her to my grandma's house. Now, even though my grandma doesn't like animals in the house, she agreed to do it. And I stayed there. I think I stayed there at my grandma's house until Sammy was ready to be born. And my mom happened to be there at the same time. I mean, that Sammy was ready to give birth. And my mom happened to be there at the same time she was about to give birth. So we waited, and she gave birth. She did give birth to 4 black cats, or kittens. 4 black kittens came out. And then Mookie was the last one. And she had this little poof thingy on her in the middle of her head. And that's all we seen. It was like mostly black. Some was like whitish, but like a little bit darker than white. And she had the little puff on in the middle of her head. And all we seen was her head, because Sammy was so tired she wasn't pushing anymore. So she wound up getting her breathing was closed off because the breathing hole was choking her, pretty much. So we kept trying to get Sammy to push and push, and she finally was able to push out the last bit, which was the rest of Mookie. And Mookie wasn't breathing after that. And my mom didn't like the idea. I mean, of course, for a lot of births, there's usually 1 or 2 that don't make it. But my mom didn't like that idea. So what she did was she asked to get a washcloth. I think it was wet. I think she said to wet it with warm water or something like that. Yeah, I think it was warm water. And so we did that, and I think it was warm water. Maybe not. I don't remember now. But we needed to warm her up, basically. So she started, and she was, rubbing the sides of Mookie, with Mookie in the middle of the towel thing, and rubbing the sides like really quick and stuff, to warm her up, but also to try to get her to breathe, or to her to heart to start beating again. So she was doing that for a while, and she handed her to me, and I think after I was doing it, maybe I handed it back to her, but eventually she started moving, and she was breathing and stuff, and then that was it. She was, if we weren't there, she would have died. If we didn't do that, she would have died. So, yeah. So after that, she stayed at Grandma's until she was with her brothers, because all were boys except for her, which is kind of funny. All the boys were black, and then the only girl was the only one that was born a different color. Even the mother was black. I have no idea what color the father was, but we're assuming it was that orange tabby cat that was around there. What's funny is my mom nicknamed him Sam, and then the black cat came over, and that was Sammy. So Sam and Sammy. But for the reason why we named her Mookie is, for one, she looked like a little monkey when she was a baby, and it was so funny. She really did. She had a monkey's face and stuff. And then, yeah, somehow it was like monkey, and somehow it just turned to Mookie. But we found out later that, because her belly, if you see her belly, half of her belly is black, and the other half is white. So, or a lighter white. I mean, a darker white. It's like tan, maybe. Or cream color, I should say. So it was like a moon cookie. So somehow the cookie and the monkey and stuff, so it became Mookie. And then we found out later that a Mookie can mean, the way that we spell it anyway, means half muffin, half cookie. So Muffin Cookie is her nickname. So she's Mookie Muffin Cookie. Anyway, she was at my grandma's until she was the right age, and my mom was able to convince my stepdad that we could take her, and we did, because Tasha was all alone. So we took her. Tasha didn't like her at first, but eventually Tasha gave in and was okay with her, and that's the story. 5 years later, we still have her, thank God. Hopefully she lives for a long time. Same with Tasha. But yeah, that's the story of Mookie. She could have died twice. Well, really a third time, because after that, like a year or so later, she fell from the second story all the way to the bottom, because she didn't know that you can fall off the balcony down the stairs. But yeah, Tasha did too. They both did, and they only did it once, and that was it. But yeah, there's the story of Mookie. That's how we got her, and we've had her ever since. So hopefully you like this story, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.